talking about the way we communicate with others through sex, but this book doesn't cover dating, love, or the non-sexual aspects of relationships. I'll save that for another book. Language. I've written this book with the aim of being as inclusive of all gender identities, sexualities, and relationship styles as possible. I use gender-neutral phrases when describing body parts, as genitals don't define gender, and sometimes use the term people with a vulva or penis, or AFAB and AMAB, which stands for assigned female or male at birth. Unless specified, when I use the term woman and man, I'm including everyone who identifies with those terms, not just cisgendered people. I use partner to refer to whoever you're having sex with. I like the vagueness of partner, not only because it applies to all genders, but because it could mean someone you just met, the person you've been in a relationship with for 10 years, or maybe even your partner in crime, you cheeky little criminal. Intersectional sex ed. Sex advice shouldn't need to change depending on the audience, because we all have sex in different ways, and we all have the right to access basic, inclusive information. However, I'm mindful of how race, faith, class, ability, and so many other factors shape our experiences. If there's an aspect of your identity that impacts the way you have sex, for example, if you live with a physical disability, the advice in this book will apply to you, but you may also benefit from education that's specific to that component of your identity. I've recommended some further reading at the end of the book. A Choir of Sexy Angels. I've provided a broad spectrum of voices in this book. I'm not going to lie, there is a lot of me talking, which I hope is to be expected. It is my book. But I've included accounts and insights from friends spanning a broad range of sexualities, genders, ages, and ethnicities. I'm lucky to have them in my life, and I'm very grateful to them for contributing to this book in such an honest and open way. Hey boys. If you're a man reading this book, hello! Thanks for picking this up. I really think you can learn a lot, and I hope you stick around. The sex positive movement, which I talk about in more detail later, is led by women and queer folks, which is obviously brilliant, but I'd love to see more cis men engaging in the conversation. In order for cultural attitudes to shift, we all need to be part of this conversation. Kindness is cool. Sex can be a challenging topic for many reasons. Perhaps being sexually vulnerable in the past has led to emotional pain. Perhaps aspects of your body cause you to feel dysmorphic. Perhaps your health impacts your ability to feel sexual. Perhaps you've experienced trauma which complicates your relationship to sex. Sex is not always an easy thing to enjoy. These are all factors we may need to investigate in order to have pleasurable sexual experiences. I wrote this book kindly, and I encourage you to be kind to yourself as you listen. This book aims to leave you feeling like a more confident sexual being, and I really hope you have fun listening to it. Now, let the sex ed begin. Chapter 1. Rethinking Sex. What even is sex? What does good sex mean for me? The short answer is that it's safe and it's fun. Here's the long answer. Good sex can happen on my own, with one partner, or with a whole fun group. It's a space to be playful, to indulge all of my senses. It's a space for shared vulnerability. It encourages me to exercise my curiosity and think of new ways to explore my body. Queerness is at the heart of my good sex. Breaking away from heteronormative ideals and writing my own rules about how I experience pleasure has been a massively rewarding process and continues to influence the way I talk about and experience sex. Trying acrobatic positions or wild novelties can be fun, but it's not a priority. Good sex is about feeling at home in my body and creating a space to explore and connect with partners and myself. We each get to define what sex means to us, and this varies wildly. To demonstrate this, I've asked some friends to share their definitions. After listening, have a think about your own. A complicated body release, in equal parts wonderful pleasure and shame. It's how I earn a living. A very intimate union between two people who are fully seeing and experiencing each other in the present moment. Sex is exploring my own body in a way that feels comforting. It's like giving my genitals a hug. Something I have very little interest in.